All right, what's up, everyone? Jeremy Lieber here. Just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. What a year it's been. 2024 has been crazy. Uh, so many success stories, so many individuals just changing their lives for the better, going full-time trading, creating a new source of income from trading, finally becoming profitable. It's been remarkable to see how much success we've had this year, and so many new members who have come in and are learning this skill set the right way and being a part of what I believe is the best trading community in the game right now. Feel like we have a lot of fun, but we also teach you guys how to actually be profitable in the market. Um, Going into 2025, like I say, we're going to be simplifying things a lot. Can't wait to share some of the things in this video of what's going to be happening in the new year. Outside of what we're doing just with live trading and our potential plays, we are going to have some really cool things happening in the next couple of months. Really in-depth crypto training on how to get set up with your crypto account. Obviously, trading the crypto market, same here as trading the stock market as far as reading the charts and the price action, just learning how to actually execute those. We're going to have in-depth futures training and programs there to help you get set up with your accounts, the way that the payout structure works. Again, these are things that are going to be happening the next couple of weeks, maybe the next month or two, and a lot more of really just cool, exciting things that we have not done at UET before that are going to be implemented. But on top of that, two quick just, side notes, and we're going to do a proper job. I'm introducing them in the coming weeks, is we have UET Zoe and UET Alex, who have been active in our community, but are going to be taking on an even more active role in helping you guys review trades, answering questions within the Discord. Alex is actually going to be offering some trading psychology trainings and advice and help for members within the community. Zoe is going to be really focused on helping with small account friendly setups and helping those starting out with smaller accounts. We just have a lot of cool things going on, and I can't wait for the new year to roll all these things out. As far as on my end with the potential plays and live trading, few changes. And again, we're going to be simplifying it to the point where we want everyone to succeed, right? And so much of trading is eliminating variables and eliminating things that could cause issues or problems or confusion. And so first and foremost, let's talk about, strategy wise and kind of how we're going to present that. I think it is no secret, and everyone who trades within UET knows the first candle strategy is our best strategy. It's the most predictable. It's the easiest to see. We are looking for just a few factors, and one of two things is going to happen, right? We're going to exit for a loss at 7 to 10%, or we're going to exit for a win at 15 to 20%. It's as simple as that. And really, you could flip a coin and just try to time your entry properly. And we are looking for a 50% win rate. Now, those who are doing really well with this strategy, if you talk to them, right, they're more 7, 8, even 9 times out of 10 being right with that proper reward to risk ratio. So each morning, what we're going to start doing with potential plays is sending out the best first candle strategy setups that we're seeing. And the 4 stocks that we trade first candle, as you guys know, are NVIDIA, Tesla, AMD, and Apple. The reason these 4 is because they have the consistently most movement, biggest movement on that first candle, right? You can see Apple from last week, massive first candle, massive first candle, massive first candle, right? And that's what we want. We want a lot of volatility. Now, the reason I love first candle strategy so much is, again, we're not trying to interpret volume. We're not trying to interpret all the different factors from the EMA, these things. It's simply cool. We're identifying the trend. In this example, right, we're below the trend waiting for either a push down, pullback, entry, push down, or a push up into the EMA's rejection, enter as it's coming back down. It's really simple, and I like that. I like that you can enter without a whole lot of thought, and it's very preset. Here's where you exit for a win. Here's where you exit for a loss. The other reason I love the first candle strategy so much is it teaches you how to lose, right? Because so many times when you're trading, the BRC, the RBR, some of these other strategies, bounce, reject, it's really easy to do things like average down, hold past your stop loss because it's moving kind of slow, right? and you essentially are not following stop loss protocol like you should on a lot of these strategies. Where on the first candle, you know that if you don't sell as soon as you hit that stop loss, you can get burned so fast. And so it forces you to exit for a loss at that 7 to 10% realm, which is so good because you have to accept and learn that losses are a part of trading. So again, where we are expecting a 50% win rate, I love that this strategy teaches you how to lose properly. Okay. Plus the fact that it doesn't take a lot of time. So if you don't have a lot of time to trade during the day, being able to hop on for the first 5 minutes and maybe being on the charts 15 minutes before market open, anyone can have enough time to do that. So we will start sending out potential plays for the first candle strategy. Talk to anyone in the group who is seeing consistent results or seeing some of the big numbers you see. Almost all of them, I would say all of them, 99.9% of them are trading their first candle strategy. Okay. So that's the big first change. Now the second change, and this is the big change going into 2025, something that I've never done previously and something that I've been doing over the last handful of months, essentially since the end of summer. And I'm going to go through why I believe it's such a good change that we're going to be implementing. Is I have been trading SPY and been trading QQQ. Now, previously, right, we have never sent these as potential plays, and we have never traded them on a group-wide level. But I'm going to walk through why I believe the benefits outweigh the risks when it comes to SPY QQQ, especially from a consistency and a profitability standpoint. Okay. So here's a few issues with traders that I have seen. Again, whole year of running masterminds, hundreds and hundreds of members coming through. And we've actually had over 1,000 people now go through all of our programs and community, which is really cool. So here's a few of the issues that traders have. And I'm going to show and explain why I believe trading SPY and QQQ can alleviate some of these issues. And again, just simplify trading for us. So number one is people hold on to losers, right? They do not cut at a stop loss. And that's the number one issue in trading, right? If you want to make sure you never succeed, hold on to your losers. That's the only thing you can't do, but people do that. Another huge one is cutting profits too early, right? A lot of people will enter these setups, great entries, but they don't get the benefit of the move. So they are cutting their profits too early. Another issue, especially when starting out, is that the contracts are too expensive, right? I'll send out a potential play on Tesla or Nvidia, and it's a $600, $700, $800 contract. A lot of you don't have account sizes to be able to play those types of setups. Another issue is analysis paralysis, right? We have so many different stocks. There's so many different strategies that a lot of times you kind of feel lost and confused. And you are either entering poor entries because you're looking at all the setups and kind of it's all getting mixed together, or you're just simply not entering because you're looking at all these different things going on and your brain's having a hard time processing that information. Another huge issue that we see is difficulty interpreting volume, right? Volume's such a huge piece of our strategies and what we teach here at UET. And a lot of people, especially in the beginning, have a hard time interpreting volume. Another issue that people run into is the spread, right? People will hit buy market when the bid is at $1 and the ask is at $1.25, so they'll get filled at $1.25, and they'll say, "Whoa, like I got a terrible fill." Same thing when they sell, they see the bids at, let's say, $1.25, ask is at $1.35. They're thinking they're selling at $1.35, they're actually selling at $1.25. They're like, "Oh, what a terrible fill." So that's a huge issue, the spread and liquidity, right? That the beginning traders have. And then the last thing is that we do scalp, right? We're scalpers / day traders, which means we are holding on to positions sometimes for less than a minute, but other times, minutes, very few are holding it past, that hour mark, a trade. And so when you're scalping, the downside of scalping is that you don't get the benefit of big moves. And options trading, it provides really big moves pretty consistently. So I'm trying to find a way to combat that. Well, let's talk about with SPY QQQ how it can actually alleviate all of these issues that I've seen are the biggest issues amongst beginning traders. And we'll walk through each one. So first and foremost, the reason SPY and QQQ I have come to love so much is that they have daily 0 day tail expiration contracts. Okay. So that means every single day you can trade same day expiration contracts or 0 day till expiration contracts, which we will refer to as 0 DTE, right? 0 day till expiration. Now, let's talk about that for a second. That's a big change, right? That's a big deal. But as you guys know, on Fridays, right, doesn't really matter what's going on volume wise, doesn't really matter what's going on. That volatility is crazy, right? We're seeing big moves happen pretty frequently. We position size smaller to counteract that movement. Well, with SPY and QQQ, you can trade same day expiration contracts every single day. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you right now about why 0 DTE contracts can alleviate each one of these issues that a lot of our traders face. Because again, all of this is with you guys in mind, right? This isn't for those who are succeeding. This is for those who are struggling or who are trying to find that consistency. This is with you in mind. So number one, holding on to losers. What I've seen, and again, you can, mentally raise your hand if this is you. A lot of times, not only will you hold your position past its stop loss, a lot of you are holding these positions overnight, okay? Which is like the biggest no-no in trading, right? You enter a call, it starts going against you, it's a Monday, and you're like, well, I have the rest of the week, like, might as well just hold on to it, like, good chance it goes up, right? Like, how many of you have done that? And guess what? When you're trading same-day expiration contracts, you can't do that. You physically can't hold those contracts overnight because they expire, right? And so it's going to change the way that you think about each trade, right? You're going to just naturally be more careful. You're naturally going to be more, hey, I got to make sure my timing is right here. Just like the first candle strategy, right? Because none of you are, entering on the first candle strategy and holding past your stop loss because you could lose 80% in one candle, right? If it goes against you. And so you're careful, right? When you're trading some of these other setups, you're willing to let it go, a little bit past your stop loss because again, it's happening a little bit slower. It's not as big of a move. So 0 DTE contracts, it's going to teach you the same thing in almost the same way as first candle strategy, where if you hold past your stop loss, you're going to get burned quickly, right? And you can run into issues if you try to hold past. And not only that, but if you are holding on to a position and, let's say it hasn't gone against you tremendously, as the day goes on, the way the option contracts work, because it expires that day, the contract will start to decay. And what that means is that the contract may not even be going against you or the stock price. Let's say you're in calls. The stock price might not even be going up or down, might just be staying sideways, and you're still losing money because, again, it's not going in the direction you want. And so the contract is going to be losing value because it is a same day expiration contract. And so just the same way the first candle strategy has taught you guys so well how to lose, playing 0 DTE contracts is a fantastic way to make sure that you are exiting at your proper stop loss, because if you don't, right, the consequences can be a lot worse than, holding with, an AMD contract on a Monday. And it's going to teach you proper risk management, and it's going to teach you the correct way to exit positions when they're not going in your favor. So that's a huge thing. Another big thing, right, with what we discussed, cutting profits too early. Well, what I love about day trading SPY QQQ is that you don't need a big move to get a great return, right? An example, I took an entry here on SPY a few days ago, right? I entered puts right here. And when it got to the low of day right here, which is like a tiny move, this might have been a 7-8% move on any other stock. This was like a 32% gain, right, on this tiny move. And so those issues, right, of cutting profits too early or, not holding on to these winning trades, you almost like can't help but when you're right, have a big win with SPY and QQQ, because again, it's a 0 DTE contract. Just as we talked about it going against you bigger, when you are right, you are going to have a lot more benefit, right? The win will be larger. And the reason I like that is in trading, you have to have big wins, right? If you're someone who is consistently having small losses and small wins, you'll never reach profitability. You'll never blow up your account, but you'll never reach profitability unless you have like a 70 or 80% win rate, right? What I'm telling you is, look, you don't have to be right all the time. Shoot, you can be right even 50% of the time. But if we're entering puts right here, right, with this being our risk and we're a 2-to-1, Well, that 2 to 1 might be a 70% win, right? It might be a 80% win, which again is going to give you, when you are right, that much more of a buffer and will help you be more profitable because again, your wins are bigger. And that's a huge thing when scalping because again, scalpers, our moves typically are smaller, right? They're 10, 15, sometimes 20%. But those same moves in SPY or QQQ, those are going to be giving you 20, 30, 40, even 50% returns with the same move. Okay. So that's a big thing that I really enjoy. The next thing is that the contracts, okay, this is what's so crazy about 0DTE contracts is that every single day, SPY and QQQ, the contracts cost anywhere between 80 cents and $1.50. Okay. Very, very rarely will you see a contract that is at the money or in the money over $2. So that means every single day, whether you have $100,000 in your trading account or $1,000 in your trading account, you can play the setup on SPY and QQQ every day because again, the contracts are not expensive, right? Again, they're only $80 to $100 a contract. So that's a huge thing. It is very small account friendly, which I think again is a huge benefit. The other crazy benefit is between the bid and the ask, the liquidity on SPY and QQQ is so crazy that you're literally going to be 1 cent difference between the bid and the ask. So the days of, oh man, I got filled at a terrible price or, oh, that, the spread killed me. We're going to remove that because again, a lot of times you'll have, SPY will be 87 cents for the bid and 88 cents for the ask. So when you hit buy market, you're going to get filled exactly where you want to get filled, right? Same with when you're selling, right? It might be a 1 to 2 cent variance. You're going to get filled right where you think, which again alleviates a huge problem that traders face. Again, the analysis paralysis with too many stocks, right? If you're looking at, after that first candle, AMD, NVIDIA, United Airlines and Boeing, it's like, okay, right? What's going on? I got to shuffle through. I got to find the right setup. With SPY and QQQ, right? You are just looking at SPY, right? You are just looking at QQQ. Like we're not scanning between different stocks. We are just watching that one ticker, which again, you are focused, you're interpreting things correctly, you're not being distracted, which is huge, especially when you are first starting out as a day trader. Okay. Difficulty interpreting volume. Again, because the moves happen so with 0DTE quickly and you can have such big moves happen, the emphasis on volume, and I hate to even say this, but it's not as much of a factor, right? Price action plays a huge role with trading SPY and QQQ. And so you don't need to be some master of interpreting volume to have really nice wins trading 0DTE contracts on SPY or QQQ. And what's nice about that is, again, I believe that is the number one issue that people have with our strategies is misinterpreting volume. Now, because of how we teach and because of what you understand about volume, of course, it's still very relevant and important, but it doesn't hold the same weight as trading a normal stock or ticker, right? We can have pretty bad volume and still get really nice moves and returns just based on price action. And again, this is for me personally as well. I told you this is with all of you guys in mind. This is also with me in mind, right? I personally like to scalp. I am a scalper by nature. It's kind of how I learned and how I got started in day trading. So the fact that I can have these smaller moves occur, as opposed to taking profit at 10, 15, 20%, I'm taking profits 30, 40, 50%, right? It's obviously it's a lot better. Now, obviously, that's maintaining a proper reward to risk, having your stop loss in place and being diligent with that. But the opportunity to succeed is much greater. And again, volume is not as much of a factor, which I think a lot of you are probably happy about and grateful that that's the case. Okay. And so you can see how just by kind of switching up how we are trading or what stocks we're trading, the parameters, the things that are causing issues are almost alleviated just by the proper setup or the proper stock that we're trading. Now, as far as the strategies go, guys, they are no different, right? So again, let's say we're looking at this day, right? We have a pre-market high, right? Which we have mapped out, we know. We have, let's say, a pre-market low mapped out, right? Perfect. Let's go back to this day so we can really identify. Okay, previous day high, right? All of that, we're great. So we have these levels mapped out. We see price hold the 9 EMA, right? And then we get a break above on rising volume. Okay, that's great. So whether we decide to enter here, with a proper reward to risk, break above our key level, or we wait for that kind of pullback entry, more like a rally-based rally entry somewhere in here. That's a massive move. And this trade, right, if you were to take profits, somewhere in this realm, again, this is, likely a 40% return, right? Same criteria, same exact setups that we look for. The trade I took, right, that we just used in the example right here, right? We see this rally down, push up, kind of a, base starting to form. Next candle, showing weakness again, no real strength from buyers. And again, entering an RBR here. Again, this tiny move right here, 32% move. It's the same strategies, right? The BRC, the bounce reject, the RBR, right? And you can identify those throughout the day on each setup, right? Another great example, right? We see right here, right off the rip, okay? We see these wicks forming up top, right? Buyers trying to push above, failing to do so. Price kind of lowering, right? Drops back down. Again, if you were to enter put somewhere in this realm with a move to the downside, or catch this liquidity sweep candle to the upside. I mean, these are, almost 100% moves on these candles, right? So again, point being, and again, just going through these examples, nothing changes as far as our strategy goes, right? If we see that rally, we see a base form, and then we catch the next rally up, right? Rally, base, rally. It's the same thing, but you're going to get such a higher yield return, or such a higher, ROI, just because we are trading 0DTE contracts, okay? So that's going to be one of the biggest changes going into 2025 for me personally. We'll still send a few potential plays for the next couple weeks based on individual tickers. But I personally, okay, for my trading for 2025, am going to be trading the first candle strategy exclusively in the morning, right? NVIDIA or AMD, Tesla, Apple, one of those. And then I am only going to be looking at Spire QQQ. That's it. And I'm going to be looking for one good setup on Spire QQQ. And there's some cool ways to implement some trailing take profits, things of that nature. But ultimately, that's my trading plan going into 2025. And the reason for it, again, is all the things we just discussed. I just believe it's going to be so much easier for people to see success, and it will teach better. You can't really get away with bad trading 0DTE, meaning if you hold on to positions, if you try to hold overnight, if you try to do these things that I know is happening that are bad, it's going to kill you. It's going to burn you, right? But on the flip side, it's going to make it so much easier to have the success and reap the rewards, because again, you don't even need to be right, kind of like the first candle strategy, right? Where sometimes you can get your 20% on a put contract, and it is a giant green candle, but because you timed it right, you don't even have to be right with the first candle strategy. Same thing here with SPY QQQ, right? If you're scalping, or you have this, kind of, smaller move mindset, well, it's going to allow you to still capture big moves, sometimes not even being right? And so a lot of opportunities to succeed within this. And again, alleviates the, all the issues that we just talked about, from liquidity to the price of the contracts, getting more out of the winning trades that you have. And all of it comes down to the same principles of keeping a good reward to risk, maintaining at least a 50% win rate. And again, every time a losing trade occurs, you have to adhere to that stop loss. And just knowing that because it, expires that day, it's going to help you be more serious about your stop loss, right? Because that's what I've thought a lot about. Like, how do we teach, and how do we show, like, hey guys, like, that your stop loss is really the only thing that matters, right? You're going to be right, you're going to have winning trades, but when you're wrong, you have to exit for a loss. You have to exit for a reasonable loss. And again, ideally, at least half of what your potential reward was on that trade. If you do not sell for a loss, you will fail at day trading 10 out of 10 times. Okay. So beyond that, guys, 2025 is going to be incredible. I'm really looking forward to our mastermind in February. Really, really looking forward to some of these new programs with futures and crypto that we're going to be offering. I'm really, really excited about trading 0DTE contracts more regularly. If it's something that you want to practice and get used to, comfortable with, that's great. My recommendation is to start small. So if you're starting to say, hey, cool, Jeremy, that all makes sense, I like it. Well, again, just like normal 0DTE, position size smaller. right? Maybe just try a contract or two for a few days, or try paper trading. Just get comfortable with how quick those contracts move. But I'm telling you, from a winning standpoint and from a risk management standpoint, with all the factors, we are eliminating a lot of the issues that most traders have, that I've seen who come through these programs. So, with that being said, if you have questions, obviously you can shoot me a message. Let me know. We'll have lots of opportunities for you guys to see this, live. Again, for me, live trading, it's going to be primarily First Candle Strategy and Spire QQQ, right? So again, a little bit different from what we've done in the past. But again, it's all with the goal and the desire to simplify things and make it easier for everyone to succeed together. And I think that this accomplishes that very, very well. So yeah, like I say, really looking forward to the new year. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Let me know. Congrats to those who are finding so much success. And yeah, if you have anything else you want to run by me, you can always shoot me a message on social media. Again, at Jeremy Lieber or at Uncommon Education Trading. One more little, note: if someone reaches out to you on Discord, right? It's not me. I am never messaging you on Discord. I'm never sending you a friend request. So if you get anything talking about mirror trading, or, send me crypto to trade for you, anything like that, it's a fake account. Please don't respond. Open up a support ticket. Let us know so we can ban them. We've gotten most of them out of our community, but there's still a few left. So just make sure that that's, you're not falling for any of that. But again, very exciting stuff going into 2025. Can't wait. Look forward to trading with you guys soon. Thanks again. And yeah, we'll see you on the charts. Thanks, guys.